Hi everybody, I just want to say all these people that are chomping at the bit and you're like, Jason, release this video. It's here, okay? It's here. This is 2026 Sundance movies, 2 of 4. These are the good ones, but not great. My name is Jason, and I do this every year because my 500 billion subscribers are like my babies to me. So this is the movies I saw, blah, blah, blah. A lot of them, probably speeding this up, blah, blah, blah. Okay, a good movie consists of this. I really enjoyed it. Great acting, directing, writing, pacing, vibe. Felt like I was missing something though. This is a good movie, not the great movies. These aren't my favorites. These are the good ones. But they're just missing a tiny whole thing. And it mostly did a little too much maybe, or didn't move me enough emotionally. Because if I'm not crying, I'm not loving it, okay? These are the 2026 Sundance good, but not my favorites. And this is Bedford Park, Big Girls Don't Cry, Carousel, Chasing Summer, Extra Geography, The Friend's House is Here, The Huntress, The Incomer, and Josephine. First one is Bedford Park. Two souls collide, a Korean-American woman struggling with family expectations and her own aspirations, and an ex-wrestler haunted by his past. Their paths unexpectedly cross, leading to a transformative journey. So this is a friendship movie or an unorthodox romance movie. Well shot, good acting, kind of stressful. And that's a good sign because you're into the movie. Should have left out the flashback connection and should have left out the pregnancy issues. There are two plot lines that I just think the movie didn't need it. Like having it actually hurt the movie because it almost was like, oh yeah, this is a movie and coincidences happen or whatever. Felt like those two storylines added an unnecessary tie together that just didn't feel earned or needed. Without him, I was like, this would have been like probably my favorites. But I liked it and respect the filmmaker's decision because I'm a filmmaker. Big Girls Don't Cry. Rural New Zealand, 2006. Over one transformative summer, 14-year-old Sid Bookman discovers desire, identity, and the internet as she imitates the people she longs to be loved by. This movie took me a little while to get into as a lesbian coming-of-age movie. Sexual awakening, peer pressure. I don't actually think I've seen a movie like this specifically. Also, didn't realize AOL was still a thing in 2006, but maybe that's because it was New Zealand. I definitely felt this girl's frustration, this desire she had, which she couldn't act on. I think I just wanted a tiny bit more, and I wish she was given more affection from others, even though I understand this is a movie and you want to have some conflict and stuff like that. And I just think it needed one or two more scenes to really capture my heart at the end and make me tear up. I liked it and respect the filmmaker's vision. And again, this movie was really good, I thought. Carousel, a word I hate spelling so much. Noah's settled life caring for his anxious daughter in medical practice is disrupted when his high school ex Rebecca returns. Their old spark remains, making them question if love deserves another chance. So this got review bombed and it was called boring, which I do not agree with. I didn't think this was boring at all. I felt like the realistic conversations kept me engaged the whole time. This was top-notch acting from Jenny Slate and Chris Pine. It had a Robert Altman slice of life feel, and I felt and related with some of the characters, even though I'm not married or have kids or whatever. This bothered me a lot. The aspect ratio made me irritated and felt trapped. All the shots felt like they weren't framed correctly, even though they probably were, and it just like bothered me for some reason. I just felt like I was trapped inside the aspect ratio for some reason. I know that sounds weird, but it was this unusual aspect ratio. And the fight scenes were very realistic, and it annoyed me because of how realistic they were. I was getting mad at these characters, which again, isn't a bad thing. I just didn't like Chris Pine's character by the end. I was just like, I just don't like you. And that's hard for me to be like, oh, I love this movie when I dislike one of the main characters who I'm supposed to like, I think. And the characters just didn't redeem themselves to satisfy me at the end. I did like it and respected the filmmaker's vision. Chasing Summer. After losing both her job and boyfriend, Jamie retreats to her small Texas hometown where friends and flings from a fateful high school summer turn her life upside down. This had Elijah Schlesinger in it. I've always had a crush on her since she started. This movie's funny. I'm crushing on Eliza. Her eye fucking gazes. She does a really good job in that. I'll just say that. General audience adult comedy. Felt personal. Not sure if it was or not, but probably was. And I liked that the message of it, which this is what I got from it. Have yourself an older and younger fuck buddy. Things I didn't like, I feel like it could have taken farther, and very predictable plot lines. One of the problems was I had seen funnier and more heartwarming movies this year already, and I did like it and respect the filmmaker's vision. Extra Geography. Just want to say the synopsis is from IMDb. Set in an English boarding school, Extra Geography geography follows two teenage girls as they grapple with all the challenges of girlhood, friendship, boys, studies, growing up, and their summer project to fall in love. I'm not a fan of this synopsis, by the way, but it is pretty accurate. It's had a Rushmore Mean Girls vibe. It was cute and funny, coming of age movie, flirty, captured teen angst and yearning, and it was about trying to manufacture falling in love by reading books about falling in love. I do think it could have been funnier. It could have taken it farther. Main plot hard for me to grasp conceptually. It's hard for me to believe these two women just didn't Google love or would even go to these lengths. They read novels and poetry on love and tried to manufacture love. And originally, an old short story seemed a little forced for the modern times in my opinion, but I did like it and respect the filmmaker's vision. Friend's house is here. I don't know why, I don't like the title, but it doesn't matter because the two women in Tehran's underground art scene create a haven of freedom and sisterhood until their circle is discovered, forcing them to struggle for each other's survival. This movie is like borderline one of my favorites. It was almost in my favorite category. It had an Altman Linklater vibe. It was like cinema verite, French New Wave vibes. A lot of improvised long scenes of happy adult theater kids chatting and living their lives. It was funny and joyous, uplifting. It was fun to see a vibrant Iran. It was just fun to see a vibrant Iran. But it took a dark turn in the middle. I wasn't really a fan of that and didn't want it to turn dark. And the Q&A was very emotional and had these harrowing stories about its making. Like they had to sneak the footage out. I think someone got shot in the eye and might have like eye damage from like a rubber bullet during the protests. The directors got emotional when talking about this movie. I just was impressed. I mean, this movie is pretty impressive. The long scenes of improvised dialogue. I liked it and I respected the filmmaker's vision. This movie is very close to being a favorite of mine. The Huntress. In the border city of Juarez, Mexico, where violence against women is perpetrated with impunity, an unlikely defender emerges with a desperate call for change. This was inspired by true events, which I did not know until I wrote that. Women who kills rapists, bleak, kind of depressing, corrupt institutions and companies, innocence lost, very little joy in this movie in my opinion. Wish there was at least one joyful scene. I notice how I'm just looking for just the glimpses of joy in anything I watch. Wished she murdered more rapists. That's just that was on my wish list when I was watching it. And I was like, oh, okay, only that many? Wish they had loosened the bleak valve just a bit. I know it's like they want it to be impactful, but I mean, this was just like sad. However, I did like it and respect the filmmaker's vision for it. The Incomer. On a remote Scottish isle, siblings Isla and Sandy hunt birds and talk to mythical beings while fighting off outsiders. Their lives change when Daniel, an awkward official, arrives to relocate them. This movie was cute, cheeky, funny, likable characters, fun morals. Dom Hall is always great whenever I see him in something. I don't really have any complaints about this movie either. I don't know why this wasn't in my favorites, except it just didn't hit me as hard, I guess. And this was definitely a crowd pleaser. I'm excited when it comes out and other people can see it. Maybe the stakes could have been higher or know what these characters were actually losing. But I liked it and I respect the filmmaker's vision. This one was up there. Josephine. This was after an 8-year-old Josephine accidentally witnesses a crime in Golden Gate Park. She acts out in search of a way to regain control of her safety, while adults are helpless to console her. And this one won the US jury and US audience favorite. This was well acted. There's a breakout kid. There's a graphic rape scene. Spoiler alert. It happens like the first 5 minutes of the movie, I think. It's bleak, void of fun, heavy. This was not one of my favorites. It was a very good movie. It just wasn't in my favorite, and I never knew what Josephine was thinking. She had a very blank look on her face, so I couldn't tell if she was, I don't know. I'm sure it's very realistic, and I would have liked to have seen Josephine's demeanor change a little bit, maybe her acting like a fun kid or something. And I wish the parents communicated better with her and each other. Again, I understand it's realistic. The biggest complaint was it was too long. I feel like it could have been like maybe 20 to 30 minutes shorter. I didn't think it needed to be as long as it did. I think I was expecting something else. I was expecting a John Grisham. It was not that, but I liked it and I respected the filmmaker's vision. 2026 Sundance movies I saw that were good. They weren't my favorites though. Bedford Park, Big Girls Don't Cry, Carousel, Chasing Summer, Extra Geography, The Friend's House is Here, The Huntress, The Incomer, and Josephine. Can you believe it? This is the end of video 3. Video 4 is the last one. So I'll talk to you very soon.